Hello, all. That's right. I'm talking to you, Billy. I don't think there's a Billy watching. Welcome to episode 2 of my Sentinels how-tos. In today's episode, I will be teaching you how to play the Argent Adept, Virtuoso of the Void. But we're just going to call him the Argent Adept from now on. Alright, cool. So, here's a little rundown of a few of his cards. Now, I've tried this video once before, by the way, and it took way too long, so hopefully I don't rush too quickly through everything. But we're going to try our best. Alright, cool. We're going to try to make it to not sound too rushed. Alright, let's move on quickly. Anyways, he has 5 different one-shots. He has 9 different ongoings, 3 of which are rhythms, 3 of which are harmonies, 3 of which are melodies, which all have a perform text that can be activated with powers, and harmonies and rhythms also have an accompany text that can be activated with specific non-innate powers. He also has 6 equipment cards, all of which are instruments, and that is his special. In fact, he has like 4 different special keywords. Wowzers. Wowzers, we're not going to move today. Do you like bards? Because that's what the Argent Adept is. He will sing you a song, or he will play you any instrument of your choice, except it's his choice. Because it's his choice, man. He has free will. So, he's basically a support character. He's the bard of the party. Yeah. We're going to go through all of his cards one by one each, thoroughly giving detail and a little quick how-to on what I'd like to do with them. And that's basically how I'll be teaching you. And then after all that, I'll be going through them once again to basically, recap, basically. You get it. Alright, we're going to move straight into it. The Argent Adept Virtuoso of the Void has 24 HP to start out with, and his innate power is called Vocalize, which allows him to activate the perform text of any of his ongoings. Simple as that. Moving on to his instruments. We won't be getting into much detail at first with them, but we will be a little later on. Starting off with Cuckoos Drum. It's an equipment instrument, of course, and it gives you a power to activate the accompany text of a rhythm card and the perform text of a melody card. That would be any of these accompany texts and any of these perform texts. Drake's Pipes gives you the power to activate the perform text of up to 2 different melody cards. That's those bottom ones again. And then there's Adisar's Horn. I don't know how to pronounce that, but we're trying. Activate the perform text of a melody card and the accompany text of a harmony card. Then there's Musaragni's Harp, or I don't know. The power is to activate the perform text of a harmony card and the accompany text of a harmony card, which is only this middle line here. So, yeah. Then there's Telemon's Lyra. Power is to activate the perform text of a harmony card and the accompany text of a rhythm card. Okay. Zeus Bell. Activate the perform text of a rhythm card and the accompany text of either a rhythm or harmony card. So performs the rhythms and does all the accompanies you can, except only one. Moving on to his ongoings, starting off with his melodies. There's one copy of each of these, by the way. Okay, moving on. Starting off with Rhapsody of Vigor. There's 2 copies of it. The perform text on it is up to 5 targets regain 1 HP each. So you can use that to heal your whole party if you need, unless you're playing with the Sentinels. Then you'll have to start picking and choosing which character cards to heal. Other than that, you should be fine. That can be activated by, well, a lot of these, really. Thing is, you have 2 of them, and they're not limited. So if you have both of them in play and you plan to do a lot of healing, you can use Drake's Pipes to activate both of those melodies. Yeah. Alright, moving on to Sara Band of Destruction. The perform text on this melody card is to destroy 1 ongoing or environment card. There are 2 copies of it. Super useful for when you get a bad ongoing or environment card in play that you're like, man, guys, do you not want that in play anymore? No, not really. So you can yeet it into the trash. Awesome. And, you know, you could just use Vocalize, so you don't even need a special instrument to use that perform text. Next you have Scherzo of Frost and Flame. The perform text of this melody card is that the Argent Adept deals 1 target 1 cold damage, then deals 1 target 1 fire damage. There's 2 copies of it. You can do both of those to absolute 0 if you want to, but, you know, you don't have to. I never personally use the Argent Adept as a damage dealer, but this is an option if you need. It only deals 2 damage, so not that good unless you have damage buffs, which I haven't taught about any yet, so anyways, yeah, cool. You can do that with just your vocals or with anything else. I shouldn't really watch where I'm pointing my camera. I notice I keep pointing it sideways when I'm putting the cards back. So, sorry! Moving on to his ongoing harmonies. Alacritus Subdominant. The perform text of this harmony card is that 1 player may play 1 card now, which is super useful, and again, it's the perform. All performs can be done with just your innate power. And the accompany text of this harmony is, you may use a power now, but if you do, destroy this card. And as you may know the basic rules, which I assume you do, you cannot use the same power twice in 1 turn, so you'll have to have different instruments in play. So, that's the wrong one. Bassy, what are you doing? Okay, I'm never gonna say that again. Yeah, next is Sadistic Dissonant. An ongoing harmony. Again, yay. Okay, the perform text is destroy an instrument. If you do, destroy any 1 card in play other than a character card. It's good for, like, those weird keyworded cards that you really don't like that can be destroyed, but, like, there's not an easy way how to. If you have an instrument in play that you probably won't be using, use this. The accompany text is to discard 2 cards, then draw 3 cards. You have some cards you don't want, you can get some better options. 2 copies of both of those. I don't remember if I mentioned the one for Alacritus Subdominant. Moving on to Inspiring Supertonic. 2 copies of this card. The perform text is 1 player may use a power now. Good. And the accompany text is the Argent Adept regains 2 HP. 2 copies. You can use that once every turn if you have the right instrument to keep yourself alive. Other than that, it's good for the perform text of it. Moving on to the ongoing rhythm cards. These ones buff your party in a little more ways than just allowing them to play cards or use powers. Counterpoint Bulwark. Select up to 2 targets until the start of your next turn. Reduce damage dealt to those targets by 1. The accompanying text is, 1 player may draw 1 card now. There are 2 copies of it. It's super good for protecting specific party members. You could choose the highest and the lowest, if those will often be selected. If you think about it anyway. You know, whatever fits the situation. Inventive Preparation. Perform. Each player may look at the top card of their hero deck, then replace it, and that's putting it back on top, or discarding it. So that you can be like, you use that Perform, then you draw the top card of your deck. You're like, oh, another one of these. Okay. So you could put it back on top to be drawn later. You could yeet it into the trash. And each player gets to do that. Accompanying text, 1 player other than you may play 1 card now. Useful. Alright. Moving on to Syncopated Onslaught. 2 copies. There are 2 copies of all the ongoings, by the way. I don't know why I'm continuing to mention this. The last rhythm. The perform text is select up to 2 targets until the start of your next turn. Increase damage dealt by those targets by 1. Accompany. The Argent Adept deals 1 target, 1 sonic damage. Again, there's that damage again. I don't really use his damage dealing. I don't make him a damage dealer. I make him a bufferoo to do whatever needs to be done in the moment. Those are all of his ongoings. Moving on to his one-shots. He has Silver Shadow. Activate the unaccompanied text. Unaccompanied text. Are there 2 copies? Did I say that already? I don't remember. I don't care. Then, you may either draw a card or play a card now. So, yeah. It's super useful. You know, whichever one of these accompanied texts will help you in the moment, and then you can draw a card or play a card now. It's a really good card. Only 2 copies though, so use them wisely when you can. Next is Polyphoric Flayer. The Argent Adept deals himself 2 energy damage. If he takes damage this way, you may use a power now. Again, you'll want to have a little more of a arrangement of instruments in play to be able to do this usefully. He will hurt himself, and he is a relatively low HP'd hero, so not the best. Yeah. It works, though. If you want to do a lot of stuff in one turn and sacrifice a little bit of damage for it, you go right ahead. Next is Arcane Cadence. He has 4 copies of this card. Here's what it allows him to do. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 1 of them in your hand, 1 on the top of your deck, 1 on the bottom of your deck, 1 in your trash, and play 1. So, it's really good for setup. It's a great card. Allows you to get all the great stuff you need. And I'm going to say this now. If there's an instrument you want, but you don't need it right away, put it in your trash. Don't put it on the bottom of your deck. Don't put it on the top. Don't put it in your hand. Put it in the trash. Here's why. Instrumental Conjuration. Search your deck or trash for an instrument card and put it into play. If you searched your deck, shuffle your deck. You may draw a card. There are 4 copies of it. So, like, if you reveal with that an instrument, that you really, really want, you can just use one of these to fish them right out of your trash without having to reshuffle your deck. And you'll still draw a card. It's good. It's a good one shot. The last card is Vernal Sonata. Each hero target regains 1 HP. Each player may take one card other than Vernal Sonata from their trash and put it on top of their deck. It's another thing you can do if you want. You could put a card you want into your trash and use one of these to fish it back out to be drawn later. And since this is going to be played in your turn, most likely, you'll draw it at the end of your turn, which is not that bad, honestly. Super useful card. Tempest has a little puppy friend. It's probably not a puppy anymore, but it's certainly a pupper. Either way. So, here is my recap. And that is pretty much every card, so you're doing great so far. Hopefully you've been keeping up, because I haven't. Hopefully someone was. The Argent Adept can use any of the perform text on any of his ongoing cards. Only rhythms and harmonies have a company text, so with his vocalize, you can use any of these. Cuckoos Drum allows you to first activate the accompany text of any of these rhythm cards, the options of which are one player may draw one card now, one player other than you may play one card now, or the Argent Adept deals one target, one sonic damage. Then he may use the perform text of a melody card, which is either up to 5 targets heal 1 HP each, destroy one ongoing environment card, or the damage one. Drake's Pipes. Now again, none of these are limited. There's 2 copies of each, so you can have as many of each in play as you want. Drake's Pipes allow you to activate the perform text of up to 2 different melody cards. You could do double healing, double destruction, or double damage, or a mix of both. Super good. Catching up? You still good? Are you with me? Cool. Sara's Horn. Activate the perform text of a melody card. And then the accompany text of a harmony card. The accompany texts of which are... Let's get this here out of the way. You may use the power now if you do destroy this card. Not so good. Discard 2 cards. Draw 3. Kind of good. The Argent Adept regains 2 HP. You know. You use them when you need them. Sara's Harp. Activate the perform text of a harmony card. The perform texts are which are one player may play one card now. Good. Destroy an instrument that you don't want, hopefully. If you do, destroy 1 card in play other than a character card. If it's really bad and you don't have any other options, you need to take care of it right away. Sacrifices. It'll go in the trash. You can get it right back out. Or 1 player may use a power now. The accompany text of all those harmony cards just mentioned as well, as an option. Alright, cool. We good? Alright, I think we're good. Moving on to Telemon's Lyra. Activate the perform text of a harmony card and the accompany text of a rhythm card. And then Zoo's Bell. Activate the perform text of a rhythm card, the perform texts of which are select up to 2 targets, and the damage dealt to them will be reduced until the start of your next turn. The same, but instead of they'll deal more damage by 1, or each player may look at the top card of their hero deck, then replace it or discard it. And then the accompany text of either a rhythm or harmony card. So, again, Zoo's Bell can pretty much activate any accompany there is. Use all of these as you need. Alright? I don't think I need to get through all these again. I said them plenty enough with everything else. This character really He's a complexity 3, by the way. Forgot to mention that at the start of this video. He is a complexity 3. I know, another one, right? But that's mainly just because he has a lot of different play options. And you gotta think a little bit. Whatever is needed in the direct situation that you can take care of, do it. Alright? Use these when you want. They could either allow you to do one of the accompany texts now, and get you an extra card, or do one of the accompany texts now and play an extra card as if you never just did play that one, but you did because it's cool. You get it. You get it. So yeah, super good. And that could also, make someone else play a card or make someone else draw a card. Allow you to use a power now or regain HP. Get better cards or even deal damage. It's good though. By the way, performs and accompanies can be used multiple times in one turn, but not all your powers can activate the same card text in one turn. Like Drake's Pipes, it says activate the perform text of 2 different melody cards. So you have to be separate. You can't do this one twice. You have to do this one and then that one if you want to do the double healing. But, he's not always a healer, so use him as you need. Deal yourself damage if you have some extra powers you might want to use, because you can use all those performs and accompany texts multiple times in one turn. If you can activate them multiple times in one turn, awesome. Use this to get some cool stuff out, or to prepare for cool stuff. Use these to fish stuff out of your trash. This mostly for instruments, and this for anything. This heals, this gets you an extra card, and yeah. This one allows you to immediately put that instrument into play, of course. This one just puts cards from each player's trash on the top of their deck, if they want. That is how you Argent Adept. So, I'm a little winded, and it's a little tired. I just talked for about 22 minutes and 45 seconds. But don't worry about me. No one cares about their health as long as it's a quality video, which probably isn't, but I'm trying my hardest, so thank you. His incapacitated powers are, or abilities, rather, are 1 hero regains 1 HP, 1 hero may use a power now, or select a damage type until the start of your next turn. Increase all damage of that type dealt by heroes by 1. So if you have a Ra in play making everyone do fire damage, definitely use that to select fire damage, because they'll all be doing that, so you'll do even more, or even just extra power for someone on your turn if you're dead. Dead? Sorry, did I say dead? I meant incapacitated. Or, you can make someone heal a pittance of HP. That is how you Argent Adept. I am Base Flash. And I think I covered pretty much everything. Yay! I will see you next episode with Bunker.